So, good morning, everybody.
Morning, Gabby.
Before I introduce Bernie to you this morning, I just want to let you know what props you will need for this class. You'll need one belt. It doesn't have to be a yoga belt, it can be your dressing gown belt. And two foam blocks or some cushions, and a large blanket or towel. So while I introduce Bernie, you might want to take the opportunity to gather the props that you need. I'm delighted to be introducing Bernie to you all this morning. Bernie has been teaching yoga for over 20 years. And some of you might remember her very, very popular classes from the Zunel Congress 3 years ago. Bernie is the Anatomy and Physiology tutor on the Irish Yoga Association's teacher training courses. And Bernie has a really unique style of teaching because she integrates and embodies the anatomy and the subtle anatomy in all of her yoga teaching. Through her deep knowledge of anatomy, she encourages students to let their bodies find the asana and to observe the subtleties that the body discloses. The focus of Bernie's class today will be nurturing the immune system and lifting the energy of the heart. It's very pertinent for the times we live in at the moment. During these challenging times, we can, through our practice of yoga and our yoga teaching, help alleviate stress and suffering in whichever way we can. If you have questions for Bernie, if you could put them in the question and answer box, and we hope to have time at the end for Bernie to answer your questions. And thank you very much, Bernie, and I hope you will enjoy the practice this morning.
Okay, thanks, Gabby. So you're all very welcome here today to my class, and I hope you benefit from the class today. So as Gabby said, today we're going to focus on the immune system, nurturing it and increasing the energy around the heart. And the focus of this class arose today because of the times that we live in and the reality that we're all having to face at the moment. One tiny little virus has suddenly just begun to change the whole world. And it has asked us all to change. It has asked us to change in how we communicate with each other. No more handshakes, no more hugs, no more little kisses on the cheek. It has asked us to, work in a different way. Many of us have to work from home. Some of us will have lost our jobs. And there are many people who will suffer long-term consequences of the illness brought about by the virus, and many, many families suffering the loss of a loved one. So these are all changes that a little virus has brought upon us, and the social reality of it is we have to change in order to cope with it. But then again, it does bring out the goodness in people, the people who come forward to volunteer. It has allowed us to spend time with our children and understand how to spend time with them and how to spend time in our own homes, around the houses, around our gardens, looking at nature. So while there are a lot of downsides to the change the virus are calling upon it, it has brought about a greater awareness within us all, how to be present in our lives and how time is so important and how we use it. But then again, like that, we all like familiarity, and change is arduous, and it affects our mind, it affects our bodies, and it's something that it's ongoing all the time, but we do develop habits, as we call them in yoga, samskaras. And when we're challenged to break these habits, it can be difficult, and that's where we suffer. But in yoga, we have the benefit of our breath. We have the benefit of developing awareness within ourselves. to work with these changes and to understand they're impermanent. The changes that come, they're always impermanent, and to allow ourselves to be present and experience the changes. So today we will just focus on nurturing our immune system, building up our immune system, because this virus knows no boundaries. Colour, creed, class, religion, it knows no boundaries. So we will take this hour and a half today to take care of ourselves and to feel what it is like to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. So just sit and close your eyes, position yourself in a comfortable position just for a few moments, and just begin to take a few long, deep breaths in. Get a sense of your buttock bones on your support, the soft tissues of the buttocks molding into the shape of your support. And release your tailbone down. And release the crown of the head up. Just lengthen the back of the neck slightly. So you create that little gap of space between the base of the skull and the top of the spine. Release your shoulders away from your ears. And just take nice, long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Feel that comfort and goodness that the breath brings into your body. Observe the inhalation from the very beginning of the inhalation to the very end of the inhalation. And then feel the pause as the inhalation turns and becomes the exhalation. And keep your awareness and your mind focused on the completeness of the breath as you move the mind down with the exhalation. Moving the breath in, moving the breath out. Let the mind rise to the top of the inhalation and then journey all the way back down to the end of the exhalation. As humans, we are attracted to the light. It invites color and shape and brightness into our life. And it's about what we know. And as John O'Donoghue, the Irish writer and philosopher, discusses in his books, humans fear the darkness, that which represents the unknown. We have many words for the light: daylight, twilight, dusk, dawn, many, many words that describe the coming of light or light itself, but only one word for the darkness: dark. And yet out of the darkness the light is born, and the darkness is the end of light. And that unknown quality that we fear is the root of all we know. And once the unknown becomes the known, we eventually go back to face the unknown. So as we breathe, every breath is different. Every breath changes us in some way. being unable to embrace change causes suffering, fear and anxiety, causes to restrict our bodies, contract inside, and our energy gets stuck and trapped. So stay with those feelings that arise and the thoughts that arise, and just like the breath, observe them and let them pass. And then just keeping that sense within you of that calmness and ease that we can find in the breath. Just slowly just open your eyes. And you're going to take your left hand and place it on your breastbone just under the notch, like 2 finger breaths under the notch at the top of the breastbone. You're going to put your index finger and your middle finger on that place. Using the pads of your fingers, you're just going to begin tapping that part of your breastbone. And today, as I said, we're going to nurture our immune system. The immune system, the lymphatic system as we know it, is almost a subsystem of the vascular system. It too has long tubular vein-like structures that run through the body. But it also has nodes, many of them. We know the nodes. The lymph nodes in the groin, the lymph nodes in the armpits. We know the tonsils, we know the adenoids. But also we have this one particular gland. Now that's only mentioning a small part of it. That lies under your fingers here, the thymus gland. And today we're using this as a gateway to stimulate the energy to move through the immune system. As you know, the immune system is our defense mechanism against infection and viruses, and becomes depleted when we're stressed. And this particular gland is present in us when we're born and evolves in size to its greatest size till we're about the age of 7, and as we come into puberty it starts to reduce in size. Its functionality was thought to diminish after that, but in more recent times it appears it has more functions. But it creates a differentiation in our blood cells, our white blood cells. The cells, some of the cells pass, white blood cells pass through this gland and are acted on by secretion called thymosin, which creates T cells, which are our first line of defense against infections. So just begin to tap across now your right collarbone, and you can release the arm out to the side, keeping the elbow soft, shoulder soft. Just tap over that collarbone and notice the shape of it, the wave-like shape of the collarbone, connecting the breastbone to the shoulder. And then tap over the cuff of the shoulder. And you can ease the shoulder and arm out if you have any restrictions around your shoulders. And then tap down the inner arm, down the palm of the hand, back the upper arm. Just do that 3 times. And then get your hand, your left hand, and draw the skin of the right arm back up to the shoulder, so you're reaching the fingers through a long glove. The fingers extend one way, and you draw the skin back up towards the shoulder and into the armpit. And then release that arm, settle it onto your leg, and notice the difference between both sides. And then you're going to switch your hands over, Find that collarbone, that notch in your neck, 2 finger breadths down, and then begin your tapping. The thymus gland has 2 lobes and it's almost in the shape of a butterfly. Structurally, it connects to the shoulders and the base of the neck, and is a supporting organ for this part of our body. So when we're stressed and worried and anxious, we tend to close in at the top of the chest, and the energy of this gland is diminished. The qualities, just begin to tap now across the collarbone. To the very corner, and then lift the arm out. And tap around the ridge of the shoulder. Ease the arm out if you feel any stiffness or restrictions, because most of us do have them in the shoulders. And then tap down along the inner arm, up the back. The energy of this gland is a light, bright, effervescent energy. It extends up into the face and neck and down into the chest. And then when you've done that 3 times, just draw the skin of that arm back up to the shoulder. And then place your hands down again. Notice the energy, notice the changes. And then just place your hand here in the front of your neck. Here lies your thyroid gland. This also has 2 lobes and is also in the shape of a butterfly. And just move your head gently under your hand from side to side. Let the chin lift slightly and then bring it back down, and then sweep it over to the other side and lift it. Just a gentle movement, releasing the neck gently. Just like the pendulum on a clock, just a gentle swinging side to side. The next time you come to your left side, bring your head back. Put your hands on your knees and just pause for a moment. So when the energy of the thymus gland is contracted and tightened, it has an effect on the energy of the heart. It has a direct effect on the energy of the heart, which tends to constrict. And the heart is our central pump. And when the energy of the heart is low, we feel low, and it can often be reflected in our posture. So begin to get that feeling now that the energy of the thymus gland is starting to open out and spread out, okay? And you can change the crossing your legs if you're sitting cross-legged. If you're not sitting cross-legged, if you're sitting with your legs straight, cross them. If you're sitting on a chair, stay sitting upright on the chair. And we're just going to place our hands on the floor each side of us. You're going to release down into your left arm, bend it a little, and raise this right arm up and over. Now breathe into that right lung. So you want to feel the right lung expand and open. Feel the side chest release its tension. And make space for the lung to open. And then lift back up and go to the other side. Don't force anything. Let your body find its way. It's very easy to create poses in our minds and try and move our body into them. But your body knows what it can do from moment to moment. So release into that side chest. Open up that left lung and let that left hip just descend down and release into your supports. Release back and just do that one more time on each side. extending up and over. Release that right outer hip down, curl the skin of it down. Let the skin go one way and the tissue will follow. And change over. And then release back. Change the cross in your legs again. If you're sitting on a chair, stay upright. So we'll do a few gentle twists. So you're going to take your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Now before you move any further, just extend that right knee into your hand and draw back against the knee with your hand. Extend your spine up and then take your right hand behind you. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just do a gentle twist to the right and look over your shoulder. Come back to center, extend up again and go to the other side. Now activate the knee into your hand and your hand against your knee. So you create an action. Just turn gently to the left and look over your shoulder. Come back to center, change the cross in your legs. Do that again. Maybe hold it a bit longer. Switch your hands over. You're going to the right, the left hand behind. Extend into your hand with your knee and draw back. Keep the buttock bone stable. Breathe in, take a long deep breath in. Soften the elbows out to the side and just turn gently to the right. Now move your right shoulder blade in this time. Draw it down and move it in and lift your left kidney in and up. And look over your shoulder. Remember, it's early in the day. And then slowly just turn the head in the opposite direction to look over your left shoulder. Keep the spine long and breathe into that right lung. Move that right shoulder blade down and in and lift the left kidney up. And then lift back up to center. Draw on both knees and extend the spine up. And then let's go to the other side. Relax the elbows. Your hand behind, your left hand behind. Lengthen up the front of your spine. Move your left shoulder blade down and lift that right kidney. And turn your navel slowly to the left. Take a long deep breath in, opening up that left side of your chest. Open the collarbone, broaden from the central breastbone across to the collarbone. Move the shoulder blade into your upper back to support your back. And then slowly glide to the head around and look over your shoulder. Let the head go one way and the navel and the chest turn the other way. And then slowly bring your head back in line with your chest. Bring your trunk back and extend up. And just take a long, slow, deep breath in. So the next thing I want you to do is you're to get your blanket. If you don't have a blanket, you can roll up an end of your mat. Okay, and you're going to make a roll like this out of your blanket. Okay, not too big. Okay, you're going to take your belt. Just fold it in four and have it beside you. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to place your blanket like this. You're going to lie down. Now, you're going to place this blanket. So it's like this. It's just at the end of the armpits. It's not up here on the upper back. You want to curl over it. And if you have a particularly stiff back, you can take a block or a cushion and push it there for your head. Okay? So you're going to roll over this blanket. Start off with your knees bent and just see how that goes. Now see, is it okay for your head? Okay. Now see how it is in your back. And you're going to extend your legs. Now you want to feel as though this blanket has tucked the bottom tip of the shoulder blades into your upper back. Because when you do that, when you tuck that bottom tip in, you open up that space of the heart and the thymus gland, broaden it. Now see if you extend your legs out, how that feels. Watch where your tailbone is. Just let it soften into the body, let it lengthen. And then take your four-fold belt and you're going to hold it. And for a moment, you're just going to hold the arms up in line with the shoulders. You can let the shoulders recede back to the floor. Now mine don't quite touch at the moment, but they probably will in a minute. You want to feel where the stiffness is in your body. You want to feel where the movement is. Don't force anything. Your body will find the posture itself. You don't have to let the mind go in there and challenge and charge around the place, trying to sort it out. The body knows what it knows. And then you're just going to slowly take your arms back overhead. Just letting the bottom ribs release back to the floor as you do that. Just extend the arms back, and if you don't get all the way, if you only get to here with the bottom ribs staying connected, that's where your pose is today. Okay? That could be different tomorrow. Keep the legs active. Feel the back of the heels like river stones on the floor, moving down into the floor. With the front thigh muscles lifting, with the tailbone long, and then reach over and extend back. And you want to feel the side chest get long and visualize the ribs opening, the space between each of those ribs, all those little muscles and tissues and fascia are releasing. You want to feel the bottom ribs, those parts of our ribs that we tend to poke forward, feel them release back down to the floor. And at this stage, become aware of the length and depth and width of the lungs. Realizing that most of the lungs lie in the back chest. Notice what you notice in this. It will reveal things to you. Yoga poses always do. So notice what it's revealing. And then you're going to very slowly come out of this. Raise the arms up. Pause when the hands are over the shoulders. And see you drop those shoulders a little more and feel that lift in the upper chest. The dome of the chest, it gets very stiff and tight. And then slowly bring the arms down. And then you're going to bend your knees. You're just going to roll over, take that blanket out and just place it on the floor beside you. You are going to use it again. And just lie back on your back and just notice now what's changing. Notice what you notice and just observe that. You don't have to go charging around changing everything instantly. Once you become aware of things, change comes. So you're going to now take your blanket. You're going to unroll it and fold it into this kind of a shape. And this goes under your pelvis. Okay? So you're going to just lift your hips, put this under your sacrum. It's to go under your sacrum, it's not under your waist, but you do need to have it around the top bones of your pelvis at that level. So we're going to just have your belts. You do need your belts. Take your belt. You're going to just draw your knees in and just feel the sacrum settling. Feel the softness of the blanket under the sacrum and how it invites it to release. And then you're going to place your left foot on the floor. You're going to draw that right knee in and just hold it for a moment. And then you're going to take the belt and place it around the ball of your right foot and extend the foot up. Now keep the right leg slightly bent for the moment and just take the knee slightly out to the side. It's only a little small movement. It's like though you're just bringing the outer side of your leg in line with the outer boundary of your body. And just relax that leg down for a moment and feel the sacrum release on the right side. And then slowly extend that right leg up to where you feel you can do it well. So extend up into the heel and draw that front thigh muscle down so the calf muscle reaches up, the front thigh muscle draws down. And then bring your awareness to your left leg and you're going to lift the toes of your left leg up and slide the left leg out by sliding the heel along your mat. Now keep that left leg active and like that make the back of the heel heavy. Turn the inner thigh down slightly so the foot doesn't turn out and draw the muscles along the bone of the leg to support the leg. Then bring your awareness back into the right leg, bend the knee slightly, let the hip release, and then re-extend that leg again, extending through the belt. Now create a dynamic relationship between the belt and your foot. So a gentle extension upwards into the belt and a gentle drawing back with your hands on the belt. Keep your shoulders relaxed on the floor. Keep your abdomen soft. And then bend that knee again and re-extend. These pumping movements are really good for the tissues around the hips. One more time like that, bending and releasing. Extend up into the heel. Be aware of your chest. Does it feel open? Does the top chest feel broad? Are the legs active? Extend that right leg up. Extend up into the inner heel, the outer heel. Broaden the sole of the foot up to the ceiling as though you're trying to reach the ceiling with your foot. And then you're slowly going to bend that knee. Release your belt. Place your foot back down on the floor. Bend up your left leg. Pause for a breath. Notice the difference. And then draw that left knee in, hug it into you. Take your belt, place it around the ball of the left foot and extend your foot up. Keep the knee slightly bent for the moment. I've straightened mine there, but bend yours and just take the leg just minutely out to the left and feel the weight of thigh bone settle into the hip socket. Think of that big head of the femur settling into the hip socket. And then extend that leg up. Connect to the belt, your foot to the belt. Be active in your movements. It supports the bones of the legs. They're very heavy. And then lift the toes of your right foot up, extend through your heel, and slide that leg out. Now bend the left leg a little, keep that right leg active, pressing the heel down, inner thigh rolling down, and then re-extend that left leg. Up, 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 up. Feel as though it's like this thing we were doing with our arms there. It's like the bones are reaching up, but the thigh muscle is drawing back. The back of the leg extends up, with the toes, it's like as though they're in a long stocking trying to reach the tip of the stocking. So bend your leg again, re-extend. And you notice each time you do this, more tissues release. Bend your leg again. And re-extend. Extend through both legs, through both heels. Rotate that right inner thigh down. Extend that left heel up and draw that left thigh muscle down towards the hip. Keep the shoulders soft, the abdomen soft, the pelvis soft. And then you're going to bend that leg, place that foot down on the floor, bend of the other leg. Now notice what you notice. And then you're going to draw both legs in. You're going to put that belt around both feet. Now you're going to just have the knees bent for a moment and then both outer hips release down to the floor and then extend the legs up. Now take your feet about hip width apart. And you may need to have to shuffle yourself a little more onto your blanket. You may have shifted. You want to feel you're on the back of your pelvis. So draw the little toe side of your foot down. Extend up into the ball of your foot. Keep the back of the shoulders broad on the floor and feel those shoulder blades just nestle into the upper back. So you feel that they're lifting that heart center and that thymus gland. This is very good for allowing the lymphatics to drain, to raise your legs up like this. To do it at the wall in the evening is very restorative. When we contract, our diaphragm contracts. And we're fearful, it tightens, and it's one of the most important muscles for pumping in the body for the lymphatic drainage. And then you're slowly going to bend your knees. Release your belts. Lengthen out. Take your blanket out actually. Just slip it out. And just lie for a moment and just feel what you feel. Notice what you notice. You should do this during your practice. Observe yourself from the start of your practice to the very end. It's like your breath. You have to follow it. And then you're going to bend your knees. You're going to roll over to one side. You're just going to come onto all fours and just extend the arms out. So you're onto all fours. Sorry, I should explain this better. You bring your big toes together. You take your knees hip width apart. Sit back on your heels. Receive the groins back as you come forward and extend the arms forward into Adho Mukha Virasana. Bring your head down. Relax your buttock bones down. And those of you who have bad knees and can't do that, you have a choice. Just is a bit more awkward. You can come onto your back and extend the arms back. You can hold your knees for a moment because going the other way you have compression on your thighs. Now breathe. Keep breathing. And from there then you're going to walk both your hands over to the left. If your head doesn't come to the floor easily, put a block under your head. Support your head. Walk both hands over to the left. Extend into your right arm. And breathe into that right side of your chest again. Root that right outer hip back and down. Now don't force anything. Just go to where you feel your pose is at its limit. If you honor the limits, they will gradually change. And a new limit will arise. Walk your hands back over to the center. And then walk your hands all the way over to the right. You're creating a side extension. You breathe into that left lung. Notice which side of your body feels more constricted. We all have one side. Very rarely people have two sides that are exactly the same. And then walk your hands back to center. Those of you, anyone who went on their backs, we're going to go into dog now. Okay, so come up onto all fours. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Your knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under. Release the navel into your body. Gaze at the floor with your eyes. Rotate the inner arm slightly forward and then tuck your toes under and reach your buttock bones back. Stretch back with your buttock bones. Keep the knees slightly bent for the moment and get the length into your side chest. And then begin to extend the heels down from the backs of the knees down to the heels and then lift up the front thigh muscles. And just breathe. This is a symmetrical pose. It's almost inverted. Then you're going to walk forward with your hands. Your feet, I should say, walk forward with your feet and bring your hands back. And lift the head and chest and look out. So stay in this halfway position for a moment. Let the backs of the legs lift. The heels go down. If your legs are very tight, bend them. Prioritize extending spine. And then roll the buttock bones up again. If you bend your knees, try rolling them up. If you don't need to bend your knees, continue to lift the buttock bones up. Bend the knees, everybody again, just a little. Roll the buttock bones up. So you want to feel that lift. Just there at the very top of the hamstrings. And now we're going to come up to standing. So ground down into your feet, soften the knees, lengthen the buttock bones down, draw up through the inner legs and come up slowly to standing. Come and stand in the middle of your mat. Extend down through your fingers, push up into the crown of your head, and find your feet. So lift your toes up, spread them all out, stretch them forward and release them down. And just for a moment, rock backwards and forwards on your feet. This is your first standing pose for today. Push up into the crown of your head, release the tailbone down. You want to feel that the tailbone is getting heavy. It's heavy. The heavier you can get that feeling in your tailbone, the more you go up, your energy will rise and lift. There you're going to take your arms out to the sides and bend them, just like this. It's not really the cactus. It's slightly, the elbow is slightly below the shoulders. You're going to inhale and just curl those inner elbows forward. And feel the effect that has on your upper back and how it opens the top chest. And then release back. Let's do another one. Inhaling, just curling the tip of the elbow forward. And then exhaling. You're going to do one more of these, and then you're going to lift the arms up overhead. And then extend right out, keeping the connection in the shoulder blades. Reach up into your fingertips. Breathe up both sides of your body. Root down into your feet. Keep your legs active. And then exhale, slowly bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders back a little and reach down into your fingers. So you're going to raise the arms up again and keep that feeling of the tip of the shoulder blade moving in, and raise the arms up. Extend up into your fingers. Now feel what happened when you brought the arms up. Connect down into what happened. The bottom ribs, did they stay back? Can you still feel the tip of your shoulder blade in your upper back, supporting the heart and lifting your thymus gland? And then bring the arms all the way back down and release down into your fingers. While you're there, standing in Tadasana, I'm just going to explain to you what we're to do next. So you're going to take your belt, and you're going to make a loop in the belt, okay? So if you go and get your belts and make a loop, and you want the loop to be slightly narrower than your shoulders, okay? And you're going to put that belt around your elbows. If you have the belt too wide, the arms will be out like a big V, okay? Or a Y or V, wide anyway, wider than your shoulders. Now, rotate the inner elbows forward and release the tip of your shoulder blades into your upper back. Soften your neck. Ground into your feet. Use those feet downward, drop them down into the floor. And then you're going to lift the arms out to shoulder level. Push into the belt with the inner arms. Keep that connection in the inner arms to keep the collarbones wide. And then you're going to lift the arms up about another 25%. Now observe what happens in the bottom ribs. Keep the feet grounded. And then raise the arms up another bit and see what happens. Now if your ribs are starting to come forward, go back slightly and wait. If you can keep the connection in your bottom ribs, raise the arms up over your head. But no matter where your arms are, inhale up into your fingers. Exhale to the end of your breath, rooting down into your legs. Keep extending up through your fingers. Keep the legs strong. For energy to move out of the base, the legs must be firm. Then you're going to exhale. Take those arms down slowly. I'm going to do that one more time. So feel the breath across the top of your chest as you move the inner arms into the belt. And then slowly lift the arms out to shoulder level, just at shoulder level, and connect. This is where we can stay very connected. Raise the arms up by 25% more and see what happens. Have you kept the connection? Then lift the arms all the way up if you're able to. Extend up into the fingertips. Inner arms moving into the belt. Find your way in your pose and let the body show you and teach you. Keep the mind observing the breath. And then you're going to exhale slowly, taking the belt down, the arms down with the belt. Just place the belt on the floor for a moment. I'm going to do that without the belt. And see, can you keep that action? Bottom shoulder, tip the shoulder blades moving in. So do that action. Just tip those outer shoulder, those inner elbows forward, and then take the arms down by your sides. Raise the arms to shoulder level. Raise them up above the shoulders. Now, here we go. All the way up. Reach up into your fingers. Long extensions. Opening up the side trunk. Releasing tension along the spine. And then slowly release the arms back down. Take your belt. You're going to take this belt and place it on your arms like this. Over the elbows again. Rotate those inner elbows forward. So forward means this way. Okay? It's towards your back, the back of your pelvis, and then bring the arms down. Draw the shoulder blades down your back and just reach the arms back. Reach back through your fingers, and again watch this connection here, the bottom ribs. Push up into the crown of your head and breathe across your top chest gently. Don't force the breath. Reach down into your fingertips. And then bring the arms down slowly. Release your belts. And just feel the effect that pose has had on you. Just down quietly. And then you're just slowly going to ground down through your feet. You're going to raise, keep your feet a little bit apart. Step them a few inches apart. Okay, raise the arm, bring the arms back first. Roll them back and then raise them slowly up alongside the ears. And then bend the ankles, the knees, and the hips. And look out. Now curl the buttock bones down, make them heavy, make the heels heavy, reach the toes forward, move the outer hips in, and rotate the inner thigh, the top of the inner thigh, move it downwards. And see, can you look slightly upwards if your head, your neck will let you. And then re-straighten the legs. Put the arms down again, breathe. Catch your breath. Notice what you notice. And this time, keep the arms down by your side, reach the back a little, bend the legs, buttock bones down. Keep the chest open, shoulder blades moving down, reach the arms up. And look up between your hands. Draw the navel back, keep your tailbone long and heavy, buttock bones heavy. And to come out of this, push down into your feet, straighten the legs, drawing up through the inner legs, and bring the arms down. Breathe. And then from there, I'm going to show you, let's do this. And I'll show you then what I want you to do after that. So what I want you to do is to inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Put your hands on the floor or on your shins. And inhale and look out. Take a long breath here, inhale, and then exhale completely. And then do another inhale, and then exhale and fold in over your legs. Now don't hold it too long. Remember, tight legs, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest out. Breathe, exhale. And then on your next inhalation, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the arms down. So we're going to do one more like that, just to loosen your legs a little. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold halfway down. Put your hands underneath your shoulders and look out or on your shins. Take a complete breath here. Inhale, exhale. Keep your spine long, buttocks lifted. And then inhale again. And then as you exhale, fold into your legs. Draw the upper arm bones into the shoulders. And then inhale again. Look out. Exhale. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Going all the way up. And exhale, coming all the way down. So I'm going to show you the sequence, okay, on one side. Okay, so you can see. So we'll be able to do it together, okay? So you're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, look out, breath, and then on your inhale again, and then exhale, fold in. And then I'm going to inhale again, and I'm stepping my right foot back into Parsvottanasana legs. Extend into your back heel. And then you're going to bend your back knee. Take your foot down. Now I can go back further with my knee, okay? But if you have groin problems, keep the knee more towards the hip. Okay, don't overextend. Put your hands on your knees. Then you're going to inhale, raise that arm of the back leg up. And then exhale, take your hand down, straighten your back leg, step your back foot forward, and then take the other leg back. Same thing, hands on your knee, raise the arm up, exhale down, step your back foot forward, fold in, inhale, come all the way up. Okay, and just stood here a bit at the wall, okay? So let's do that together. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, look out. Exhale. Then inhale again and step your right foot back. Extend into the legs, Parsvottanasana. Grip the outer hips in. Chest forward. Draw the upper arm bones up into the shoulder sockets and keep the chest open. And then bend your back knee. Release it down to the floor. Put your hands on your thighs. And pause like that for a moment. And then keep the left hand on your thigh. Raise the right arm up and look up. Take your hand down to the floor. Straighten your back leg. Step it forward. And then take your left leg back. Bend your back knee. Put your hands on your thighs. Lift and open your chest. Raise the left arm up. Look up. Gaze up at the ceiling. Take your hand down. Straighten your back leg. Step your back foot in. Lift the head and chest out. Fold down over your legs. And then lift the head out. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale all the way back down. So we're going to do that again, but there's a variation in the arms. When we take the arms, you inhale and you exhale. Lead in with the elbows. Inhale, exhale. Okay? Instead of the arm going up straight, that's the variation. Okay, so inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Lift the head and chest out. Look out. Take your right foot back. Bend your back knee. No, pause for a moment. Sorry, pause for a moment in the legs of Parsvottanasana. Just pause and let the legs release. Lift the buttock bone of the front leg up. Extend into your back heel. Now bend your back knee. Knee down to the floor. Now both hands onto your thighs and press down onto your thighs. And lift the chest. And then take the arms out. Bend the elbows. Like the cactus this time. Exhale. Bring the arms in. Elbows and wrists. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Keep them in. And let's lift them up. Extend up and look up. And then take your hands down to the floor. Straighten your back leg. Look out. Step your right foot forward. And fold in for a moment, just to neutralize everything. And then lift out again. Lift the head and chest out. Step the left leg back. Bend your left knee. No, sorry, I meant to say just keep your legs straight. I keep leaving it out. Maybe I'm trying to avoid it. Look out. Now allow the legs to release in their own time. Those you with tight legs, remember to soften the knees. Prioritize on extending the spine. And then bend your back knee. Put your hands on your thighs. Breathe. Then lift the arms out. Exhale. Bring the elbows in. Inhale. Bring the elbows out. Now lead in with the elbows. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale up with the arms. And look up. And then take your hands down to the floor. Straighten your back leg. Step it forward. Look out. Take a long breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale again. And on the next exhalation, fold in over your legs. Draw the upper arm bones into the shoulder socket. Curl the back of the head down. And then you're going to come slowly up to standing. Bend your knees. And come up slowly. So you're going to stand. We're going to do Virabhadrasana 1. It's very strange just teaching to yourself. There's a lot of things you want to say. You realise you're saying it to other people. So we're going to do Virabhadrasana 1 twice. Okay? First time, we're doing it without a belt. Second time, we're doing it with a belt. So have your belt beside you, okay? So I think most of us know Virabhadrasana 1, so we'll just do it together, okay? So step your feet out wide, take your arms out wide. So we're going to go to the right first, okay? So turn your right toes in, left foot and leg out completely. I want you to keep your arms out like this for this one, okay? till we go down. And I'm a bit stuck here at the wall. So bend your front knee, bend it, bend it, bend it. So I'm just taking my arm down because of the wall. Then rotate the inner elbows up. Bend them slightly, tip the elbows up another little bit, and then raise both arms up and look up. Now, if you have very tight legs, keep your front leg straight, particularly the groins. If you're tight in your groins, keep the front leg straight. Breathe into your arms and anchor into your feet as you exhale. Tailbone down, arms extending up. Keep the inner front knee curling up and out. To come out of this, press into your feet, straighten your front leg, turn your feet. Take the arms down. Now focus on that lift of the inner elbow. So we're lifting the thymus gland the whole time. We're trying to move it away from the wall. So we do that to the other side. Take the arms out. Just turn the palms up for the moment. Turn both feet to the left. So turn your feet around. Right foot in, left foot and leg out. Bend your front knee. Just bend it this time now. And then rotate the inner elbows up. And raise the arms up. And look up. Now extend into your back leg. Ground into the front heel. Press the front shin bone back. And begin to turn the inner thigh of the back leg from the inside out. Press into your back heel. To come out of this, press your feet down, straighten your front leg, lift up through the inner legs, turn your feet, take the arms down, stand in Tadasana. Breathe. Get a sense of how your energy is beginning to move now. Now there is a lot of energy across here. Ground down into your feet. So you're going to do Virabhadrasana 1 again. This time, you're taking your belt, you're putting it in your arms like you did earlier. Take your belt, put it on the elbows. Goes on the elbow joint, okay? Rotate the inner elbows forward. Don't have the belt, the long end of the belt coming over your face. Rotate the inner elbows forward. And then turn your hands to face one another. Now press the inner elbows into the belt. And feel the opening in your chest. And then you're going to step your feet out wide. You're going to raise the arms up. Now remember how we did this earlier. Raise them up. So you should feel a lot of space lifting up from the inner groins all the way up to the hands. Turn both feet to the right. So turn your left foot well in, right foot and leg out completely. Anchor into your back heel. So I want you to stretch your thumbs back, like as though you're trying to reach your back heel with your thumbs. And then bend your front knee. And inhale, let the arms go up. Exhale, let the hips go down. Inhale into the arms. Exhale. One more time. To come out of this, push into your back heel. Lift your chest a little more. Straighten your front leg. Turn your feet. Take your arms down. Step in. Catch your breath. And step your feet out again for your final position. Raise the arms. Halfway, 3/4 of the way, all the way. So go to where you're comfortable. That's your pose. Let your body find the pose. Turn your right foot in, left foot and leg out. Now bend your front knee. Bend. Stretch your thumbs back. Look up if you can. Inhale into the arms. Exhale into the hips. Down with the hips. Up with the arms. Open all those channels. Come out of this pose. Stretch your thumbs back. Push into your back heel. Straighten your front leg. Turn your feet. Arms down. Step your feet in together and remove your belt. And pose. Stand and wait. Feel the chest. But also feel the grounding in your legs. Feel the energy across your throat, top chest, middle chest. Note your breath. Notice all the pulsations and sensations in your hands, around your face, around your neck. And from there, we're going to step your way into dog. Step back into dog, just a transition pose. Root down through your inner heels, down to your outer heels. Let the buttock bones just lift so the tops of the legs can open. And then you're going to bend your knees. If you can, you can stay on all fours for this, or you can just lie on your tummy because that's where we're all going. If you have knee problems, reach back and just rest the head. Ground the energy of the head. Rest. And just breathe into your back chest. Feel the goodness of your breath. Connect the back of your sacrum to the back of your head. And then from there, you're going to lie flat on your tummies. And moving the obstacles out of the way here, so you can see. Lie flat on your tummies, with one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead down. Give your body a moment to get used to being prone. And just breathe. Feel your organs settle. And then you're just going to place your head directly on the floor and extend the arms out a little wider than your shoulders, just a little bit. Move your feet hip width apart. Just get the nice sensation of this position. It's quite a relaxing position to be in. So what I want you to do is keep your forehead on the floor. Extend through your right arm and your left leg, just reach them away from each other. And when you feel they have reached their fullest extension, just lift them an inch or two off the floor. And then slowly bring them back down. Now I have to lift my head out to talk, okay? So don't lift your head out. The head stays on the floor. Repeat the same on the other side. Extend through the left hand, right leg. And just lift them off the floor when you feel they're extended. And bring them back down. We're going to do the same again on the other side. Just a gentle extension. Reaching out through that right hand and back through the left leg. Keep the pubic bone stable on the floor. Keep the navel softening into the body. And just let the arm and the leg just gently lift off the floor. The gentle movement. And then release. Let's go to the other side. Just lifting. And then release everything completely. And just breathe. Now from there, you're going to lift the head and chest out. But let me just show you the way I want you to position your fingers. So I'll slide back a bit, maybe more this way. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to have your hands wider than your shoulders. And I want you to position your hands so that they're like little claws or little hamster houses on the floor. Okay. And you want to feel as though the skin is dipping down into the floor. So you've just placed the tips of your fingers into warm water. And they're just kind of magnetized into that warm water. Okay? Have your feet about hip width apart. Relax your shoulders. Keep the shoulders soft. And then you're going to breathe in. And just curl your chest up. Now you don't look up. You keep your gaze soft. Let it go where it goes. You don't crank the neck up. Then exhale down. Keep the tips of the toes, all 5 toes, active on the floor. And you know then your legs are correctly positioned. We often just press the big toe down and it rotates the leg slightly in the wrong direction. It lifts the outer hips up. So if you connect into all 5 toenails on the floor and keep them engaged there, you know your legs are working. Okay? Slide the hands back towards you a little. So now there's more flexion in the elbows. Drip those fingers into the water again a little. Feel the soft, warm water softening your tissues. And then inhale and just curl up. Now you're noticing your head position is changing. The awareness is moving up into the eyes. So keep the eyes soft because the eyes are like the mind. They want to grab and create a story. Exhale down. Slide your fingers down another little bit. Notice the change in your chest, the shape of the chest. Keep the tailbone heavy, keep it long. Visualize as a little magnet on the very tip of that tailbone. And it's being drawn down to the floor. Soft fingers and soft water. Curl the chest up. Get a sense now where the head is. Look over your right shoulder towards your right foot. If you're able to, bring the head back to center. Same on the left. Back to center. Down you come. All the way down. Slide your fingers back another little bit. Release the fingers down into the floor. Softly. Skin soft. Mind soft. Curl the chest up. Look over your right shoulder. Back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Back to center. All the way down. Slide your fingers down one more time. Just curl up. Notice where your vision is now. Your back muscles now beginning to engage. The heart lifts. Lift, lift, lift. Down you come. And then just release the hands, place them on the floor at breast level. Spread the fingers out. Just rotate those inner elbows towards you a little. Release the tailbone down, magnetize it down to the floor. Down, down, down. As you do that, you'll feel the legs engage more. And from here, we all just curl up into cobra. As you begin to lift the chest up, begin to rotate those inner elbows inwards and curl up. And keep it in the upper chest. Keep the heart drawing upwards on the exhalation. Open on the inhalation. With the root of the breath. Down in the pelvis. Drop your shoulders. Press the upper arm bones back. And you're going to come out of this nice and slow. Feel if the hand presses back. Extend the spine down. Breathe. Let's go one more time. Spread the fingers. Curl those inner elbows inwards. Feel the shoulder blades activate. And curl up. Breathe. Draw up the heart at the end of the exhalation. Lift it up. Open it on the inhalation. And then exhale. All the way back down. Place one hand on the other. Rest your forehead. Take your breath. Notice what you notice. Notice where the body felt it couldn't move. Notice where the lightness was. Notice where the dullness was. And notice the effect the pose has had on you. Feel the sensations, the pulsations, the vibrations that create movement and remind us of our life force. From there, you're just going to go up into dog, just to neutralize. Push down to your heels. And then bend your knees, and we're going to come over and just do bridge. Okay. So lie down on your backs. We haven't much time left. So walk your fingers towards your heels a little. So in this bridge, we're going to lift the pelvis and link the hands like that underneath your back and extend the arms, okay? We'll do it twice. The second time, those that want to can put their hands in, okay? So feel the feet on the floor, skin of the feet on the floor. Let them yield down into the floor, and then begin to lengthen the thighs away and lift the back of the pelvis. Lengthen, lengthen. Don't grip into the top of the pelvis. Just feel the lower buttock muscles connect. Then link your fingers underneath your back and roll your shoulders down to the floor. And feel the effect that that has on your chest. Just bring the pelvis down briefly and feel the openness in the chest. And then we're to lengthen those knees away again. Press the upper arm bones down. Now change the direction of your thighs or your shins. Press the shin bones towards you. And lift the chest a little more. Breathe into that top chest. Open it wide. Keep the legs moving slightly towards each other. Keep the tailbone in. Keep it long. Lengthen it towards the inner knees. Turn the very tip of that tailbone slightly downwards. And then you're going to come out of this. Release your hands. Lead down with the pelvis to keep the lift in your chest. And you're just going to go into one more. Press your feet down. Lengthen your knees. Lengthen the tailbone. Link the hands. Release the shoulders down to the floor. Do it physically, because they can be very stiff. Now lengthen that tailbone and lift the heart. Lengthen the tailbone and turn the tip of the tailbone towards the inner knees. Now those that want to put their hands in, underneath, lift your heels, place your hands in up at the bottom ribs, if you can. Press your feet down, open your chest. Feel the openness of the heart across the middle chest, the lift of the thymus gland. Just take another 2 breaths. Keeping that tailbone long and lifted. And then to come out of this, you lift your heels, those with the hands in, but everybody lead down with the sacrum. And then release. Breathe. Now you're going to take your arms over your heads, okay? A little bit wider than your shoulders. Now if you have very stiff arms and that, you can bend the elbows, okay? You're going to turn your feet out 45 degrees. And you're going to roll both knees over to the right. And then you're going to lengthen through that left leg, reach back through the left arm. Breathe all along that left side of your body. And then roll back up to center. And we're going to change over to the other side. Roll those knees over to the left. Extend into that right knee and back up into the right arm. Breathe into that right side. Feel the fullness of the breath. Slowly come back to center. Bend your elbows into that cactus position. And you're going to Just roll, bring both knees together and just roll them over to the right. Turn your head to the left. Then you're going to roll back on your pelvis over to the other side, turning your head in the opposite direction. Lift back up. Place your feet on the floor. Turn your knees towards each other. Bring your arms across your chest and just breathe into your back body. Now from here, we're going to come to sitting for a few moments, and you will need your belts. Change the cross in your arms. You don't want to have one side happier than the other, do we? And then you're going to roll over to one side and slowly come up to sitting. So we're going to sit for just about 5 minutes. So sit on your blocks or your cushions, position yourself so you're upright. And I want you to put your belt on. The belt should be the right size for you. You put it on like this. Okay, so it comes over just above the elbow. So it's on like this. Okay? And then you come and sit. Sit whatever way is comfortable for you. Whatever way, it might be in a chair. I should have said that earlier. Actually, I know I forgot it. But whatever way you find comfortable, where you can have your spine upright. Put on your belt. And feel the effect the belt has on you. And when you're settled, let your hand on your thighs. And just notice. That's all you have to do for a moment or two, is just notice. I think it's the easiest thing to do. So why don't we do it more often? Notice what you notice. Make that mental note of how you are now. This moment, now. So let the eyes close gently. Feel the lift in the heart. Feel the openness across your chest. Feel the vibration of your energy. Notice the pulsations into your hands. And just breathe. Breathe your own breath. Feel the openness in the heart. The heart is our innermost source of sentiment, compassion, empathy, and awareness. In these times, we need to draw on its qualities more than ever. The heart has several aspects. The outer aspect, the part that faces forward, faces the world, It's affected by the day-to-day life we live in, the effects of karma, the thoughts and feelings. So breathe into that outer heart and bring it ease. The heart that faces the world. Feel your breath, feel the open expansiveness of the inhalation, opening the heart. And then we have that inner aspect, the inner heart, related to our moods and impressions. It holds the personal sense of I, created from our life, from our conditioning, from our environment, related to our self-image, thoughts, judgments. Many which have an eroding effect on our subtle bodies. So breathe into that inner part of ourselves. Invite it to feel ease and calm and softness and acceptance. And then the deepest part of ourselves, the secret heart. The heart that we can't name. It's beyond the experience of language and symbols. It's often the part of us we fear to look at. And to access this part of ourselves, we have to surrender, let go totally, and to be truly present. And when we learn to do that, we will truly see our greatness. Sitting in that gentle, compassionate energy of the heart. That deepest part of us is devoid of all judgment, all attachment. And when we can access it, we can experience true compassion and loving kindness for ourselves and for others. With the energy of the heart, like a great big ocean, boundless, endless, always changing. Feel it expand as we inhale. And then as we exhale, feel that heart lift. Feel the pause at the end of the exhalation and the end of the inhalation. Those moments of quiet balancing. And suspend yourself in those moments. Allow your breath to move into that deepest part of yourself. Feel that sense of peace and calm and ease. And we allow ourselves to touch the deepest part of ourselves. So you're actually going to lie down now for a few minutes. And normally I do meditation at the end, but in this sequence I prefer to do it now. So remove your bells carefully without disturbing yourselves too much and lie down. Position yourselves with the body aligned, with the buttock flesh long, you can often grip. So bend your knees and brush the skin of the buttocks towards your heels. And then extend the legs out. Position them where you wish. If you want to have your knees bent, bring the inner knees to touch one another. And roll the outer shoulders very gently downwards towards the floor and turn the inner elbows up. Soften the palms to face upwards. Close your eyes. Feel where the head has settled. Make sure you're on that bony ridge of the skull and that the head doesn't roll one side or the other. So you sense that once the eyes are closed. Release the eyes back into the eye socket. And as that happens, you'll feel the palate begin to broaden. The corners of your mouth release. The inner ears soften. And drop into your pose of relaxation. Your weight of the heels on the floor, and the backs of the legs on the floor, both of them, the right and the left, and let them go. Feel the back of the pelvis, wide and broad. Feel the organ body settle deep into the pelvis. The abdominal organs, the colon, the intestines, the organs of reproduction, the bladder, let them all recede back into the deepest part of the pelvis. Feel the navel drop back to the floor. Feels like it creates a space for energy to flow. And as it releases, feel the lumbar spine release, the kidneys release, broaden and lengthen. Feel the back ribs release. Feel the fullness of the chest. The back ribs, the side ribs, the front ribs. Feel the space between the breastbone and the spine. Feel the width from side to side. Empty out through the tips of the fingers. Feel the palm and keep it really soft. Release the arm bones, the lower arm bone, the upper arm bone. The heavier they become, the more the ribs and the lungs can release. The shoulder blades dropping and softening. And as they drop and soften, feel the collarbones broaden. That simple movement of the shoulder blades. Feel the base of the neck release, the sides of the neck, the front of the neck, the back of the neck. Feel the front of the throat release deep, deep back. In towards the deepest part of the neck. Feel the tongue rest on the lower palate, with the skin on the face soften. Corners of the eyes release and turn gently upwards. Feel the brain release back into the skull. And then bring your awareness back into the center chest. Feel that open expansiveness of the chest. Feel the breath settle around the heart like a soft mist. The spreading of the heart on the inhalation. And the gentle upward lift on the exhalation. With the energy of the thymus gland supporting the shoulders, the arms, and the base of the neck. Gently scan your body for residual tension and see if you can let it go. Feel that deep feeling of serenity. Encapsulate the feeling, embody it to bring with you through your day. Now just finish your little reading from John O'Donoghue. May you listen to your longing to be free. May the frames of your belonging be large enough for the dreams of your soul. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing whispering in your heart that something good is going to happen to you. May you find a harmony between your soul and your life. May the mansion of your soul never become a haunted place. May you know the eternal longing that is at the heart of time. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May your angel free you from the prisons of guilt, fear, disappointment, and despair. May you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging. Moving very, very gently and slowly. Just begin to bring yourself back by moving your fingers, moving your toes. And slowly roll your head from side to side. Ease it over from side to side. Slowly bend your knees in. Roll them gently from side to side. Then roll over to one side and slowly come up to sitting. And thank you all for taking part today. And I wish you well, keep well, be safe. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernie. That was absolutely wonderful.
Well, it went time, Gabby, but I didn't want to compromise either.
Absolutely no problem at all. I think it was well worth staying with the practice.
Yeah, no, I was going to cut bits out there in the middle where I got all mixed up.
No problem.
No, but
I'm very much sure that people are not in a space to ask questions, really. I think even for myself, I was doing the practice and I just feel so uplifted and so calm.
good.
I'm sure people want to hold on to that feeling without mentalizing any questions.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of people, going, thank you so much. Wonderful session. Greetings from Vienna, from Nora. So just an awful amount of appreciation. And they're still coming in here now. So many thank yous. Beautiful practice. So I think maybe we should just call it a day and everybody can hold on to that feeling.
I think so, Gabby, yeah. Because the mind should create stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's loads of appreciation out there for you, Bernie, and just thank you so
great.
much for sharing with us.
I'm sorry about the few little blips because I was trying to rejiggle it in my head as well because I have the clock beside the iPad watching it.
No problem at all. So thank you very much, and I hope we'll see everybody at the closing ceremony later on this afternoon.
Yes. Take care, Gabby. Thank you.
Bernie, really appreciate. Bye.
Bye.